What's the most you ever shot a day?
In a day, probably like 10 for real.
That's crazy.
I run around because, like I said, I bought my first camera in 2019, 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, over the pandemic, I run around and shoot vids for like 250, 350. You feel me? I make like 2,500, 3 bands a day off shooting videos. I'd go shoot like 10 of them Jones in one day. Walk in the crib with a bag. I'd be happy as hell.
10 videos a day? That's the most you ever shot? What's the most you ever shot a day?
In a day, probably like 10 for real.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, 10 videos a day.
But if they did one location,
I was driving around the whole city.
Mm-hmm.
I was going from uptown to north to west to southwest to South Philly all in the same day. Like, come on, bro, let's shoot.